seriousness aside, it's important to recognize why we're here. To thank a shipmate and his family for 25 years of dedicated service. I kind of like the 2.5 decade thing a little better. It sounds a little longer. Share some highlights, major events, and wish them fair winds and following seas, and the very best in their future endeavors. And I must say, we got to have some fun at Senior Chief V's expense. But I need to check real quick. This is a non-attributional event, correct? Right? There's no attorneys in the audience? Okay, good, I can use these remarks. I would like everyone to know that Senior Chief and Jeanette and the kids will be moving back to San Antonio, Texas. As many of you know, taking care of people are one of Senior Chief's fortes. He plans to go into emergency management. He didn't really outline the plan to get there, or something about a trophy wife in between, or trophy husband, sorry, in between this career and that career. One only has to read his biography and see that he has some experience and training in that area. I have plenty of stories on Senior Chief for the 3 years that we've served together. 2 years in an MCV 40. There we go. And a year at CSFE, or Center for Seabees Facilities Engineering. But I really wanted to get some stories from his shipmates and others he has served with over the years. I mean, really, how hard could it be? Get some anecdotes, some quotes, some stories to embellish, or not, on such a large personality, Senior V. I mean, he's kind of larger in life. He's a very social person, likes to network. He's probably the best at networking I've ever seen. However, this proved extraordinarily difficult, more challenging than I never could have imagined. The first 2 responses I received, my email inquiry to a list of friends that might have some stories on Senior Chief. The first one was, I don't recall too many stories that I could reveal in public. The second one was, I have several stories, but I need to be careful as to cause self-exposure and have a career to worry about. So I did what every resourceful CEC officer or CB does. I Googled. So we'll get to some of that in a bit. However, Master Chief retired Paul Hoffman. He did provide a little bit, just a one-liner in true Hoffman form. He goes, I believe he's from Texas, and so that makes me think he's the second best thing to come out of Texas. The first best thing is I-10. I just read what he wrote. That's all I do. My fellow CEC officers were a little more forthcoming, though. Just so you know, the mess held tight. I got to give them that. Some of the most memorable Senior V moments are doing impressions of Master Chief Cadena. For those in MCV 40, he was the S3 Charlie. And maybe you'll grace us with some of those comments in your remarks. I don't know. Is that maybe it'll make it in there, maybe not. But Senior V made a tremendous impression on numerous sailors and junior and senior officers. And as far as CV Chief Petty Officer to junior officer mentoring goes, Senior V was probably one of the best that I've ever seen. I'd also say that he probably mentored some senior officers as well, and I'm appreciative of that. I also believe we have a Master Chief in the audience that was maybe a little bit of a tough nut to crack during what used to be called initiation. I lost track of what we call it now, but you wouldn't give up. You were determined, and you kept after him until he got it. He got it. And I won't call out any names, but it's good to have Master Chief Chamberlain in the audience this morning. From your Charlie 6 time at 40, Lieutenant Commander Ferguson, who we've talked about many times, provided a couple of anecdotes. As the only officer who had the pleasure of performing Senior V's last re-enlistment twice, I'm sure there's a story there, I truly regret not being able to attend his retirement. Senior V is entitled to a great send-off, and I'm honored to have served with him, and I think that goes for probably everybody that served with you, Senior Chief. During the Afghanistan deployment, in your daily 2 to 3 laps around the Dadi 2, a great place in northern Afghanistan there, Senior and his Charlie 6 would discuss all manners of projects, troop issues, and who they thought the XO was going to yell at next. I have a hard time believing that June Lee heard Lick at the time would yell at anybody, but I don't know. Senior V pushed the troops hard, but he went out of his way to take care of troops. That's one of the hallmarks of your career. You're also a huge Halloween fan. Just look at his Facebook page, you'll see Halloween pictures. Kind of, I think it may be a family thing, but that one clown mask you have is scary, but you did don it to go around trick-or-treating into Dottie 2 to see your Charlie Company types out there working the projects, handing out candy. I believe you even scared the heck out of a sailor when you were in ACB 1, one of 3 times in ACB 1, I might mention, that you walked into a tent with your mask on and you scared somebody who had a phobia of clowns and he ran through the side of the tent. See, it's all true. I didn't make this up. And but you had to chase him down, and I think you got him back into the training, into the battalion. But I saw a picture of that mask. It is frightening, extraordinarily frightening. Oh, that was your face? This is a mask here? I don't think so. All right. So there's also some serious moments in Senior's career, not all cheery. Senior Chief was already not happy with the rating merger and having to shift from SWCS to CUCS. For the family in the audience that may not know, the Navy was confused for a while. I think the CUCS move was good. The next piece, maybe not so good. So you're already unhappy, and then the Navy shifted to the Navy Occupational Specialties. So we were going to do away with SWCS and CUCS. You had to be called by your NOS, your Navy Occupational Specialty. So Senior V was going to transition from CUCS, or Senior V, was now H-170V. I think there's 14 people in the Navy that were happy that that happened, and the rest of us were happy when it unhappened. And I know you were one of them. But he decorated his door in the office at Christmas time with the title was "The Grinch That Stole the Navy Ratings." True story, true story. I did witness that. Well, I told you about the struggles to get stories on Senior Chief. So any day like today, I resorted to the internet, Google, like I said. I Googled his name in various forms: Martin with an E, Martine with an E, Martin with an I. And I took whatever I got. So this may or may not be you, but I'm going to attribute to you. Okay. So, for example, I came up with several social networking sites and web pages where you had an account. Air quotes on you. The first one, I'm pretty sure it's you. It's www.swcsforever.com. That site was closed. It had no new entries on it for the last couple of years. LinkedIn, Facebook, all the blah, 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 boring stuff. Yeah, got it. How to raise 3 teenagers and have your spouse do all the work. True story. Maybe not all the work, but 93% of it, I'm sure. He had an account on Booktown. I don't even know what that is. A Twitter account. Texas Gone Wild. Hooked on Phonics. Yeah. And Cowboys All the Way -maybe.com. I also found a quote attributed to Senior Chief or to somebody with a name likeness. It says, "I'm just trying to keep from getting run over on the information superhighway." Well, many accounts as I found on that, you're just hogging all the bandwidth anyway. So it's I hope San Antonio's got good high-speed internet. There's one story, kind of a precarious one, and I do believe the statute of limitations are in play here. I think times expired on this. I won't say egregious offense, but could have been ugly. But I guess I want to thank you first for one, keeping a couple of senior Navy personnel out after curfew. Not. And 2, thank you for having a relationship with the security team to get said senior Navy personnel in the gate without incident, sit rep, or otherwise. Somebody wanted me to thank you for that. They will go unnamed. In all seriousness, Senior Chief, you're a very tough act to follow. I'm very proud to have served with you, and I'm thankful for your friendship and camaraderie. I've witnessed so many positive human and leadership qualities in you that any person should desire to emulate. I know the people you have led and served with feel the same, as evidenced by the turnout today and those folks who couldn't attend, and I'm certain you have their loyalty, trust, and respect. Earned because you legitimately care for people and treat everyone with respect, something all of us should aspire to. You demonstrate these superior qualities on a continual basis. That alone makes you a hero. and Paul Hoffman did want me to say, a heck of a great leader in his books. But a surprise appearance from a note from Master Chief Joyce, Dean Joyce. I've got it right here. I don't know if you talk about him in your memoirs that your 25-minute speech you have lined up for us, but he wanted me to pass this on. Martine, Mr. Mann, congratulations on your retirement. Sorry that I'm unable to attend, but I'm grateful to be able to pass along a few things on this very special day. When we all think of leadership, most everyone will automatically think of leadership by example. As a matter of fact, it was on the back of our NMCB 40 Chiefs Mess shirts. But let's think about what that really means. Be an example for all others to follow. It's not just a cliche. To a chief, it should be a way of life, but most fall short of being able to achieve such an endeavor. Let's face it, when we think about leadership by example, we reflect on senior enlisted leadership that we have looked up to throughout our career, and we think we could never measure up to the footprints that they had left and leave behind. He goes on to automatically think of folks like Mike Mearsney, Ray Freitas, Don Turner, Jimmy Fairbanks, and Buck Thomas. Chiefs that really knew, understood, and defined what leadership by example truly means. Chiefs that knew that you can't find the true reflection of leadership by looking in a mirror. All of them know and knew that only true reflection of leadership is seen through the eyes of those that they lead and by the example that they leave behind in others. I can and will say with absolute certainty that you also leave all, A-L-L, of these traits behind in folks that you have molded, guided, and led. I couldn't be more proud of you and your accomplishments. I wish you and your family fair winds and following seas. Love you, man. Congratulations, Dean. I didn't quite deliver that the way the masterful Dean Joyce could deliver that. He's quite an art behind the microphone, but great words nonetheless. And I think it's words that we all share, anybody that knows Senior V the way that many of us do. The Navy was fortunate to have your service for these last 25 years. You could have taken the off-ramp numerous times, as evidenced by last re-enlistment twice, and probably had a successful career doing just whatever you chose to do outside the Navy. The Navy is a better place because of the positive effect you have on people. I speak for everyone who has served with you. We would love to keep you a few more years, but the time is right. And as you and I have discussed on numerous occasions over the last 10 years, it is really good to know when to say when. Senior Chief, thank you for your service, your leadership, and your fellowship. It is time to embrace your retirement, embrace life after Navy, and embrace your family and your future adventures. Wishing you all the happiness and future success. Godspeed, fair winds and following seas.